This is the story of Gina, Jack, and Lucy, three childhood friends bound by trust but torn apart by betrayal. One of them shattered the friendship in a way no one saw coming. Who was it, and what was the ultimate betrayal? Let's find out. Gina and Jack had known each other since they were little. They grew up in the same village, played together under the warm African sun, and shared their childhood dreams. Jack was always protective of Gina, and she trusted him more than anyone. As they grew older, their friendship deepened, and by the time they reached secondary school, everyone could see that they were meant to be together. Gina wasn't like the other girls in school. She didn't have fancy clothes or expensive shoes, and she wasn't considered the most beautiful. But what she lacked in wealth and appearance, she made up for with intelligence and kindness. She was the brightest student in her class, always coming first in every exam. But this didn't make her popular. Quite the opposite. Many students looked down on her because she came from a humble background. They laughed at her worn out shoes and mocked her simple hairstyles. Among those who always stood by her was Lucy, her best friend. Lucy had come into Gina's life when they were in secondary school. Unlike Gina, Lucy was admired by many for her beauty and confidence. She was outspoken and always defended Gina whenever she was bullied. Leave her alone, she's smarter than all of you put together, Lucy would say, silencing the bullies. Gina felt lucky to have her. She believed Lucy was her true friend, someone who cared for her. But what Gina didn't know was that Lucy's kindness was nothing more than a mask. Deep inside, Lucy envied Gina. She couldn't understand how someone so plain and simple could be the smartest in the class. No matter how hard Lucy tried, she could never beat Gina in academics. It infuriated her. She wished she could be the one everyone admired for intelligence, but she hid her jealousy well, smiling and laughing with Gina as if nothing was wrong. Through the years, Jack remained close to Gina. He always reminded her that she was special, that her intelligence and kindness made her more beautiful than any expensive dress she could ever have. Gina never thought of herself as anything more than Jack's childhood friend, but deep inside, Jack knew he had always had feelings for her. It wasn't until they finished secondary school and entered adulthood that he finally confessed his feelings. I have loved you for a long time, Gina, Jack told her one evening as they sat beneath an old mango tree near her home. The evening breeze was cool, and the scent of ripe mangoes filled the air. Gina's heart pounded in her chest. She had never expected those words from him. But why me? She asked shyly. Jack smiled, taking her hand gently. Because you are different, Gina. You have a heart of gold. You are smart, hardworking, and kind. You see the best in people even when they don't deserve it. Gina looked down, her cheeks turning warm. She had always cared for Jack, but hearing him say those words made her feel something new, something she had never felt before. From that moment on, their friendship turned into something deeper, something more precious. Lucy was the first person Gina told about her Jack's confession. She expected her best friend to be happy for her, but Lucy only forced a smile. That's great, Gina, she said, pretending to be excited. You deserve happiness. But inside, Lucy's jealousy burned even more. It was bad enough that Gina was always the smartest in the room, but now, even love had chosen her? Why did Gina always get the best things in life? First, it was intelligence. Now it was Jack, the only man Lucy had ever secretly admired. As time went by, Gina and Jack's relationship grew stronger. They supported each other in everything. When Gina got a good job after school, she worked hard, not just for herself, but for Jack as well. She helped him whenever he needed financial support, even extending kindness to his parents. Jack admired her for this and told everyone that Gina was the perfect wife material. But something was happening that Gina didn't notice. Lucy's smile became less genuine. She started watching Gina and Jack more closely. She analyzed their happiness, searching for cracks she could use to her advantage. And then an idea came to her, a dangerous, wicked idea. If she couldn't be Gina, she would take everything Gina had and she would start with Jack. Jack was a good man, but like many men, he had weaknesses. Lucy had watched him closely. She knew that while he loved Gina for her kindness and intelligence, he wasn't deeply attracted to her. Gina was not the most beautiful woman, and she was not as romantic as Jack secretly wished she was. Lucy, on the other hand, knew how to use her beauty. She knew how to turn heads, how to make men desire her. If she could make Jack fall for her, Gina would lose everything, so she began her plan. It started with small things like compliments here and there. She made Jack feel special, like he was the most important man in the world. When Gina wasn't around, Lucy would joke with him, touch his hand playfully, and make him laugh. She dressed in ways that she knew would catch his attention, wearing perfume that lingered in the air whenever she walked past him. At first, Jack didn't think much of it. Lucy was just Gina's best friend, but as time went on, he started noticing her more. She was beautiful, confident, and knew exactly what she wanted to say to make him feel good. Then came the late night conversations. Whenever Gina was too busy with work, Lucy was there to listen to Jack's frustrations. She fed him with words that made him doubt his relationship. Gina is always working, Lucy would say softly. She's so focused on success. A man like you deserves attention. Jack would shake his head. She works hard for us. She wants a good life for both of us. Lucy would smile, her eyes filled with mischief. Of course she does. What a woman should also make her man feel wanted, don't you think? Little by little, Jack found himself drawn to Lucy. It was wrong. He knew it. Gina had been nothing but good to him. She had supported him in ways no other woman would. But still, Lucy made him feel something Gina didn't desire. And then it happened. One evening, when Gina was away on a business trip, Lucy invited Jack over to her apartment. She made sure everything was perfect. The lighting, the music, even the way she looked. Jack hesitated at first, knowing that this was a line he shouldn't cross, but Lucy was persistent. She knew how to play with a man's emotions, but how to make him forget his morals just for a moment. That night, Jack betrayed Gina, and once he did, there was no going back. From there on, Jack and Lucy began seeing each other in secret. He still acted like the loving boyfriend around Gina, but behind her back, he was falling deeper into Lucy's trap. They went on dates, held hands in the shadows, and whispered sweet words to each other when no one was watching. But the most painful part, Jack used Gina's money to spoil Lucy. Whenever Gina gave him money to help with something, he would take Lucy out instead. He bought her gifts, perfumes, dresses, jewelry, all with the money Gina had worked so hard for. Lucy felt victorious. For the first time in her life, she was getting ahead of Gina. She had taken the one thing Gina cherished the most, her man. He was sure Gina would never find out, but she was wrong. Gina started noticing the change in Jack. He was distracted, always on his phone, always making excuses, and then there was Lucy. She had always been her best friend, but suddenly she was acting differently. Gina could sense something was wrong, but she couldn't quite place her finger on it. Then one day, she saw them, Jack and Lucy, sitting so close to each other, whispering and laughing like lovers. Her heart pounded in her chest. Something was definitely wrong, and Gina was going to find out what it was.